So we're going to talk a bit about white balancing. Now this basically is when you tell your camera what white is, because white can actually be very different depending on what light you're using. We see here, this light, though it looks white, is actually fairly yellow. So now I've switched the white balancing to show that. So this is something you get from a regular incandescent light. However, if you're using different kinds of light, you may have something that is something that is a bit of a white light, and of course the exposure is going to go way crazy here. Now you can set manual white balance, and sometimes it'll do it automatically for you, but if you're going to be moving around, if you're going to be changing lights and stuff, you don't want it necessarily shifting white balance, because then the colors will change. So here we're seeing what's happening if I have the white balance set for fluorescent light when I'm using tungsten light. Now tungsten is that yellow light. As opposed to now I've got the camera set to white balance for tungsten light, which means that the white looks like white, which is good and is what you want. However, here's what white looks like under fluorescent light. We don't like that at all. That's terrible. That has a blue shift, which is kind of the opposite problem that you would see. So if we change the white balance real quick, and now the white looks much more reasonable because we have this set for fluorescent light. Now I'm filming this on a point and shoot camera, and it has auto white balance, or AWB, which may be a setting that you can use. However, if you're then going to go ahead and switch back and forth between lights, you may discover that all of a sudden you look a little bit yellow or you look a little bit blue because the camera has decided that the light is something other than what you want it to be. So that's something that's a little helpful, is to go through and just set the white balance settings right before you shoot so that white looks like white as opposed to blue or yellow.